perspective. Obviously, Miguel is talking about a sense of urgency, and Ephesians 5:16 talks about redeeming the time for the days of evil. I think I want people to understand that this is a war, and this is not, when Paul says, I fought the fight, I finished the race. Like when he said, I fought the good fight, he wasn't saying, I fought it 10 years ago. He's saying, yesterday, I fought the good fight. Like I'm about to die today, but I fought until I died. And so just knowing this is a war, you could die any minute. You could be a casualty of war at any given moment in time. Are you going to fight every day like this is a war? So that's my...
Acts in chapter 1 and verse 1 and 2, Luke writes how the works that Jesus began in the book of Acts is basically the works of the Holy Spirit, as the works of Jesus continues through the church until he comes back. And my exhortation to us today is that Jesus hung on that cross for a purpose. The Son of God, the King of glory, hung on that cross for a reason. And do you know what that reason is in your life? That he laid hold of something for you. He's called you to this incredible, lofty purpose to serve the King of Kings until he returns. And the work is still going on. And I think we all have to ask the question, if I don't reach my next door neighbor, who will? If I don't talk to my classmate, who will? If I don't pray for my unsaved mother, who will? And that God sent his Son to die on the cross for unworthy sinners, not only to forgive you, but to pour this infinite measure of love and grace into you so that you will be this river of his grace flowing from you to impact everything else in the midst of this darkness. He is called and he intends to use you. And now what are we going to do? I pray we be faithful.
I know a lot of people are being exhorted today to go and do. And I know the reality is it's broken people here tonight. Some of you are here just hoping to muster something up from this. And often our brokenness is what keeps us from even feeling like we should be doing anything. And I'm reminded, man, so much of Jesus Christ in the wilderness and that experience. He was tempted basically not to trust the Father and to do what he should be doing to sustain himself. And that thing alone is what can keep us from doing what we should be doing for God's glory. So I just want to encourage whoever's here, whether that's a woman or a man, like whatever brokenness you're feeling, whatever failures you've had, the feeling of inadequacy, insecurity, maybe you don't feel cute enough or thin enough or wise enough or smart enough. The reality is that we serve a God who wants to take even those broken experiences that you're going through right now, the things you're going to go home and you still going to have to deal with when you get there. He wants to even use those experiences that he might be glorified. God's in the business of even using our brokenness. He's in the business of thrusting us into the wilderness. Like Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Led. So I just want to encourage you, don't feel like you can't go, you can't do, because you're in a position of feeling broken, feeling insecure, or feeling not wise or smart or thin or cute enough. Like we serve a God who wants to use us because he can, not because you deserve to be used.
The young man who died, the first thing that came to my mind was, look, there's over 1,000 people in this room. The odds of all of us in here really having a relationship with Jesus Christ. Look, I know there's some of you out there where you don't know if you've ever really surrendered your life to Jesus. You know, maybe you just grew up in a Christian home and you went to church and everything else, but it's never been real to you. Like there was never a time where you really came before God and go, God, seriously, I'm done with myself. I'm done with myself, and I'm ready to follow you. I'm ready to walk away from everything and follow you, and I want your Spirit in me to start leading me right now. I mean, my first thought was, man, if Christ were to return tonight, really, would all of us go there? Or are there some of us in this very room that right now are going, man, I don't even know if I have a relationship with God. I don't know. I don't experience them like what you guys are talking about. I don't know that I ever really just surrendered my life and denied myself, picked up my cross, and decided to follow Jesus. And I would just say, man, forget about anything else that's going to happen tonight. Like, we're talking about eternity here. Like, you've got to be sure of this. I mean, Jesus, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, is going to enter the kingdom of heaven. It's him who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. I just know a lot of people are going to be fooled on that day and maybe given some false assurance. Man, it's the Holy Spirit who is the seal of our salvation. And so I just would encourage you, look, if you're here, you're just going, man, I've been hiding things, or I'm just showing up here, and you guys are talking about God, talking about people dying, and that kind of just freaks me out, because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and I don't have this confidence of, I'm not afraid to die. I am afraid, and if that's you, man, tell someone, like we're going to have intermission in a second. Don't even come back until you've got this figured out. Man, you're going to stay at a concert when you're not sure if you have eternity in heaven or eternity apart from God in torment. It's like, come on, you guys. Why keep up the facade? If you don't and you're just faking it, I mean, what good's that going to do? You stand before God and says, depart from me, I never knew you, and you spend eternity apart from him, but in your mind, but I fooled them up on earth. They think I had a relationship with God. They think you guys, it doesn't make any sense. Look, we've got to just be honest and get real and tell each other and lay it out there, because I don't want you leaving tonight with those doubts. Man, I want you to surrender your life to Jesus, and I know that's our heart. I mean, that would kill me to know that I didn't even just say those words and one of you died tonight, and I wouldn't know if I laid it out there and didn't declare to you that whole counsel of God. There